how would you describe his personality?
He's fun, he's very chilled, but he's just a comic little genius. He's hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and do you know one of the greatest things about Harry though is whenever he meets anyone, he will always introduce himself as Harry Styles or just as Harry, as if nobody has a clue who he is. There's just something so refreshing about that when he does that.
Totally.
It's genuine.
When I met Harry Styles at a sushi restaurant.
How did you go up and say hi?
That was actually a really funny. I met him again. Another time was super normal, but like I just got in LA and it was like the first week I was there and I saw him there, and I was like geeking out, which I wouldn't do now because he's literally a person. But I tweeted when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, what a weird day. Harry just walked in, but I forgot I had my locator on. So literally
everyone came.
Within 10 minutes, there were like 200 people outside. It was kind of madness.
Did he say anything to you about that? Like, did he know about
at the Billboard Awards when I saw him backstage, he was like, "Oh, that was you. That's right. I remember you."
How old are your daughters now?
Vivi is 8 and Georgie is 5. And because of Jenna and because they're great, but my 5-year-old spends a lot of time on a fake phone talking to Harry.
Oh, really?
And she seems kind of bugged by him.
Oh, like Harry's annoying her?
She's always like, Harry, I can't even hear you. And she'll look at me and she's like, I gotta go. And she's like, her legs are, she's literally like, oh, God, Harry, I already called. He's driving me crazy.
The girls reveal the advice band member Harry Styles told them.
I remember we were in rehearsals and he came up to us and told us, as a group, you all 5 of you should be on the same page and the closest things to each other, because around all 5 of you, there are going to be people that are going to come and try to snatch you. People are going to try to break you guys apart. So as long as you 5 are your best friends, that's the most important.
Harry!
Would that be creepy if he got your face tattooed on his thigh, or would you like it?
It wouldn't surprise me if he did, because he's crazy.
I met him. He's an amazing dude. He's really chill. Like, when I first met him, I was scared that he'd be like, I don't know, like big pop star and like super famous guy.
Pretentious.
But he was just like, what's up? And he's like a 20-year-old dude, and I'm 20, so we bonded. It's great.
Are you guys writing?
You are, right?
No.
Well, that's what everyone's telling us.
Who's telling you? I want to write
the
so
Styles
bad.
fan club?
I think he's an amazing writer. I heard he wrote like Ariana Grande songs and stuff.
Harry was brilliant in it, like proper acting.
He's just
he could be an actor.
Absolutely. There's nothing he can't do.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
There is nothing out of the realms of possibility for him. Like, he's got that thing which is kind of unquantifiable, you know, like that Justin Timberlake has, where you just gravitate towards it, whatever he's doing. And yeah, he was completely brilliant. Yeah. They all were.
Yeah.
He's a great kid, and we've got on really, really well, and we've had a lot of fun. I've not actually had any acting scenes with Harry, but, you know, he's a sweetheart. And, you know, I think, you know, nobody can be that charismatic on stage and not transfer it to film acting. And, you know, Chris would not cast someone unless he knew that they could do it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do in the movie, and he's a great kid, and we've had a lot of fun together.
Harry's cool. Like, he's the strangest thing about Harry is he lived at my flat for a while, but like he had a house. Well, he had 2 houses.
This is before he's 1D, right?
No, this is after he's one. This was like a couple of months ago. He had 2 very posh houses in London, and he'd just come and stay. And I'd be like, well, did you want to like live at your house for a bit? And he's like, no, I'm cool. And he lives just at his mates' houses. Like, it's cool because obviously he gets to see his friends every day, and you wouldn't want to be in a big house on your own. I just see, you know, for a little bit, I was just like, man, like, you should probably live in your house for a little bit, you know? Because most stories that I say on radio kind of end up in media. I'd like to put something out there as well that I found out the other day that no one wrote about. But going back to Harry, right? I saw him in LA about 3 months ago, and he had a day off and he went out. No one knows this. No one's written about it, and I'd like for press to write about it because I think it would be a nice thing. But he went out on his day off and spent like 2 or 3 grand on Domino's pizzas and drove around for the whole day just giving it to homeless people. And I think that's an amazing story that people should cover.
Was Little Things written about One Direction's Little Things?
Did you know Harry leaked that picture himself?
Did he?
Yeah, he leaked his own picture.
He's purposely making a fuss.
He definitely hasn't got a little thing, so no, I did not write little things about little things.
What am I looking forward to? I like that Styles kid, the Harry Styles guy.
The Styles guy.
Girls
Harry
at home
Styles.
are screaming at the mere mention of the name. Him. I hadn't really seen a lot of pictures of him until recently, and I didn't know that the band was morphed together in the social medium form that is the X Factor.
Right.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Right.
I did not know that, and
Yeah.
so I like the Styles guy. He's funny.
Well, you know, you
I
learn
wanna do this to him, honestly.
you learn something new every day.
I want to talk a little bit about your parents. We've been seeing them with Harry Styles. Tell me how that friendship came about.
I really don't know. Like, all of a sudden, I remember being 10 or 11, and he was at my house, and I was like, and I was never like a huge One Direction fan, but like, I was still a teenage girl, and I was like, wait, this is, but yeah, him and my dad have become really good friends, and I think he just likes being surrounded by families, and yeah, he's the sweetest kid, and I look up to him so much, so yeah, I love having him around.
Justin Bieber. Oh. Rihanna? What the heck? Jade! Bogo.
What is that? Are you stupid?
Woman.
This is hilarious!
That is the thing I never thought you would draw.
Oh my god! Stop it!
Oh my god. You I can't never do that. thought. I'm not getting it. Would draw What is that. it? Woman with curly hair.
Leanne! 2! 1!
I haven't had a lot to do with him yet, but and I don't know much about his work. He's a very undoubtedly a really handsome young man. What surprised me one night, the other night when we had to drink together, about 4 or 5 of us, a lot of young guys in the cast, was he was so funny and witty. Like we were watching the football and the Germans were beginning to lose against the French, and there was a picture of the German crowd, and I said, oh, look at the Germans looking really serious. And he said, what? Like, that's not how they normally look. They normally look like, like this. It was very witty, and he's very quick. But I know the stuntmen, there's a lot of stunts in it, and he has to do a lot of them. Not comfortable stunts. And he's just so positive and brave and brilliant. They all think he's wonderful. I think he's making a great move personally, because I think if you do have a lot of soul, as he surely does, then you can share more of that through acting in film than you can, I think, through popular music. Both things probably will be are in his option, but yeah, no, he's a remarkable young man. There are a lot of remarkable young men in the film, and actually, you know, that's the amazing thing too. He just blends in with them all. He just seems one of the group. He's not got any airs or any. I can see why people are very fond of him.
You know, he was just visiting the studio because he was in town because he had a date on his tour in LA. So he came to visit the studio, and they were like, "Harry, do you want to write a song for Ariel?" And he was like, "Sure." And so I was.
Like, is that what he does? Does he write music?
I mean, I guess so. I didn't know. I mean, I knew him as a vocalist. I knew him as a member of One Direction. I loved, you know what I mean? I knew him as like Harry from One Direction.
Yeah.
I didn't know him as much as like a writer or you know, anything like that. So it was such a pleasant surprise. I was like, wow, he's so incredibly gifted, and I'm really glad that you know, people get to see that side of him. He's so great.
What was he like to work with? What was his energy like?
Great, very funny. He's very silly and very sweet, very professional, and never too serious. Like I would be singing in the booth, and I would cut a vocal, and he'd be like, "Oh, that was terrible. You should try it again." But he was like joking. But he was very nice, very sweet guy.
Thing is, though, he's pretty amazing. He's got a magnetic quality about him, and if he looks at you, it's like staring into the face of a lighthouse. It's just, I don't know what it is about that boy, but yeah.
Who else do you want to make out with? Is there anyone that you'd like to mark? I've been reading about people that you have a crush on.
Yeah, okay, so you know I have a thing for Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like a young Mick Jagger.
How much do you reckon you fancy him out of, like, say, 10?
I don't like.
Be honest.
I don't really know him, like the ins and outs.
Yeah,
of
well, you
Harry
don't
Styles.
need to know someone to fancy them. You can fancy them. I'm not talking about love.
Well, then a 10.
A 10.
You actually are a big supporter of Harry's.
I'm a big fan of Harry's, yeah.
He's very talented.
He's lovely. I wanted to open a barbershop with him called Harry Styles, but he wouldn't.
He won't do it?
He won't do it.
Oh, he's missing out.
He doesn't call me back. Harry has come to a couple of our shows, and he's a sweet guy. I think I probably said the same thing about chemistry. I can't really remember. I was too enamoured with his haircut.
It's quite a haircut.
I was like this. I'm pretty sure I was a straight guy before. Getting a sort of hot flush.
Curly. It's just unbelievable. It smells so good. It's just so shiny.
What's
it's like
going
full
on?
of body.
This is a song that was written by the handsomest man in the world, Harry Styles. He couldn't be here, so he asked us to cover it for him.